I don't know what type of guy he is, where the Mets gonna go, but here's the thing with the Mets. The Mets need to start spending money. Or, because to me, as far as I'm concerned, this is the last hoorah for the big three. DeGrom, Syndergaard, Zach Wheeler, and Steven Matz. This is the last hoorah of the pitching staff. You gotta do something. And you know what's funny? The NL East, even though the Atlanta Braves won the division, let's be honest, this is probably the weakest division. The Phillies, who you going to count on? The Phillies? Please. The Phillies was supposed to be a playoff team. What happened? They went 80 and 82. How you going to? I'm supposed to take this team seriously? Give me a break. Give me a break. And the Washington Nationals, they're all the most hyped team in sports history. Please. The Atlanta Braves was no match for the Dodgers. No match. And I'm supposed to take them seriously? Give me a break. So, but yeah. And that's about it as far as the MLB season is concerned. And now, hot stove. Sooner or later, February, Yankees and Mets, everybody report to spring training, either Arizona or Florida. And then we do this all over again in 2019. All right, that's the story for the final time for the MLB season, for the 2018 season. Let's move on to football, shall we? And tonight is the Battle of the Bay Area. Two teams who have high expectations, but it didn't happen. It was not meant to be. I'm talking about the Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams who expect to have high expectations in the beginning back in August or January or July, back in spring, back in training camp, and it gone in a different direction. One coach who about to trade his whole team away, if he could. Look what John Gruden is doing with the Raiders. Okay, he traded Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper, who was supposed to be bring back the silver and black. I guess this means take the season. That's what John Gruden is telling me. If you have a player like Khalil Mack, you do everything in your power to keep him. But I guess Gruden didn't think that way. I guess the Gruden grinder got to him. As far as the 49ers, unfortunately, Jimmy Garoppolo is out for the year with a torn MCL. And Richard Sherman, he's quiet. I didn't hear nothing from him. He's supposed to be the best corner in the league. What happened? The Rams carve you apart. Gerard Goff just had his way with you. And the defense, and the whole team, I should say. But they have done nothing. Absolutely nada. Nada. So this most likely this will be a low-scoring game. Oh well, whatever. I'll still tune in, and then while I was going back and forth watching How to Get Away with Murder with my sister, should be a good episode. Speaking of How to Get Away, let me tune in on How to Get Away with Murder for a second. I think it's the best show on TV, as far in my opinion. Period. There's no other way to wait. Viola Davis is amazing. And she's so sexy. Like, oh my God. She's one of those. She is one of these women in one of those actors. She don't need to be sexy to try. Like, damn, her presence speak for herself. That I don't know how to say it, but she just, whew, it's just like a hot flame boil coming at you. Whew, you know? But anywho, back to football. The Giants, boy, the season ain't quick enough. I don't know. Has any Giants fan seen improvement? I thought this was supposed to be a year of improvement. I guess it's back where Ben McAdoo picked off. Bob McAdoo. Why I keep saying Ben? Every time I say Bob, I meant Ben. But you get what you get the drift. But anywho, the best. He's supposed to be. How would you call it? Oh gosh. I just figured out something, but it'll come back to me. Anywho, it'll come back to me eventually. It'll come back to me. Anywho, yeah. Well, I was talking about the Giants. Anywho, there's supposed to be improvement. Where's the improvement? Because I watched a couple of Giants games and there's still no improvement. Eli Manning, and listen, Eli Manning has been awful as ever, and it's not all Eli. His receivers is not helping him out as well. Odell Beckham Jr., his head is, everybody say his so-called antics didn't bother me as much. That's the type of player, that's the type of person he is. But as a player, but a lot of I'm annoyed with himself with that interview he did on Sunday NFL Countdown. Why Lil Wayne is there, I don't know. Lil Wayne wasn't promoting this episode. Jonah Anderson couldn't say to him, listen. Unless you're promoting your album, you cannot do this interview. But no, yeah, you got to do the interview with Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne is his attorney. I mean, come on. Come on. It's annoying. But anywho, I haven't seen no improvement from the Giants. You traded your best defensive tackle to Detroit. That says something. That says you move it to the next direction. And your record is 1-8. Your season is definitely over. So you might as well move on to next year, because there's no point coming back from this. Who's going to come back from this? I mean, come on. Who's going to come back from 1-8 deficit? What you going on an 8 straight winning streak and then win a lot of games, and we'll go 8-8? It's not happening. So you might as well play for your pride. Play for the pride. And as far as Eli Manning, it's time to turn the page. It's been great. You'll always be golden in New York. But as far as I'm concerned, it's time to turn the page as for Eli Manning. Because Eli Manning, it's not his team anymore. I think you have to build your team around Saquon Barkley now. And the only way Saquon Barkley could be a successful running back in the NFL, the only way that's going to happen, obviously, you need an offensive lineman. You can't build, your offense can't do nothing unless you have an offensive line. That's just plain and simple. Anybody who watches football knows that. Second thing, build a receiving core. Odell Beckham, help out Eli a little bit. Stop whining and grinding about whatever, and help Eli a little bit. Because not all. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I see some throws. I was like, that's not all Eli. I mean, I see some throws from Eli that is way off. I have to admit, and sometimes it's not all Eli's fault. So, a lot of things have to happen. So, it's not Pat Shermer's fault, but the second year, this cannot happen again. So, you gotta see where it goes and so forth. And as far as the Jets go, as far as the New York Jets go, they're not going anywhere too. But at this point, I'd rather watch the Jets than the Giants. The Jets are more entertaining than the Giants. Sam Darnold, everybody's raving about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's going to be a heck of a quarterback and all that stuff. Wait a minute. Listen. He had the lowest completed. For a rookie, he had the lowest completion in NFL history. In the NFL right now, it's over 50% of his passes. Let's calm down. Okay, let's do that. Let's calm down for a second. Okay, let's do that. How about that? How about we calm down? Let's calm down for a second. Let's calm down. Okay. He's obviously not Joe Namath yet. But in all seriousness, if Sam Darnold going to be the quarterback that you expect him to be, first thing that's gonna happen, you got to build a receiver. You're not going anywhere without receiving core. You got to get a receiver. That's the only way Sam Darnold is going to be successful. He got to get a receiver. I do not like his receiving at all. Obviously, you need a running back. And just like the Giants, they need an offensive line. You cannot be successful in the NFL without an offensive line. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Yep. But anywho, that's the story of what's going on in the National Football League right now. As I mentioned tonight, Thursday night football game matchup, the Raiders against the 49ers, the Battle of the Bay Area. That's 8 o'clock. You can watch it on Fox or the NFL Network or whatever network you have, either the NFL or Fox or just watch it, And Week 8 of the National Football League. Yes, sir. Anywho. Alright, a lot of big games. Rams Saints is the America headline game. The Giants, well, a lot of big games, especially in college football. The Big House, Michigan versus Penn State at Michigan. It's gonna be a big game. You know those fans those students at the Big House is gonna be rocking. It's gonna be rocking. Yep. Same thing with Texas, Oklahoma State. Should be a shootout. Texas, I gotta be honest with Texas has been very impressive. After they win against Oklahoma, when they beat USC, they beat my USC. I thought, okay, they beat my USC. What a disgrace and stuff like that. But when I saw them against Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry, I said to myself, whoa, I'm impressed. Their defense was outstanding. I have to admit. I mean, the offense. I don't know about the offense, but their defense is pretty good. Defense is pretty solid. I have to admit, it's pretty solid. And Oklahoma State is not Oklahoma State because they don't have Madison Randolph, but it's not the same high firepower from last year. So Oklahoma State is in a down period, but unless Texas have a big loss in one of the conference.